I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and we are here to celebrate Mom in a sumptuous way. Today's show was directed and co-produced by an intelligent 11-year-old, Mr. Matthew Hamilton. He'll be showcasing his culinary skills a little later on in the program. We're still on the economy, so we continue our focus on government's plans for economic growth. Ian Boyne is next, so please stay tuned. We have a wonderful Mother's Day package lined up just for you.
I make you know you're happy, she bring you come here. From your heart, tell me sing this one. From your love, your mama like this man.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. I'm Erica Lumsden, multiple JCDC music winner, and you're watching Jamaica Magazine.
If you're gonna take it to the limit, don't fake it, just make it the best and love can be.
Are you 35, live in Jamaica, made a worthwhile contribution to the development of your community or parish? You're eligible for the Governor General's Achievement Award. There is also an award for persons 18 to 24 years with high levels of academic achievement. And if you're 24 to 35 years, you could qualify for the Governor General's Award of Excellence.
It's not based on your personal success. It's based on your outreach, you know, doing something to help other people.
For full details of the criteria, application form and supporting documents, visit kingshouse.gov.jm or call 927-6424. Drop off documents at King's House, Hope Road, Kingston 6, or give them to the Justice of the Peace or Custos in your parish. Application deadline May 30, 2014. The Governor General's Achievement Awards Program, recognizing excellence since 1991.
Nobody can tell you what tomorrow brings. So
The tax measures presented in the budget will ensure that Jamaica fulfills its commitment to achieve the 7.5% primary surplus target for this fiscal year. The only way out of our present difficulties is to continue with the program, to pass more IMF tests, get access to more multilateral support, secure more investments to provide jobs in our economy, and achieve the mission of sustained economic growth.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. We continue to talk about economic issues because they are so crucial. And back with us is Dr. Andre Horton, economics lecturer at the University of the West Indies. We thank you again for your company. Dr. Horton, good to have you
good to be here
again. The last time we spoke, you gave us some reasonable arguments for the adjustment and austerity program that the government is pursuing. But what the average person will say is that the prices in the supermarkets, the prices in the shops, the continued devaluation of our currency doesn't seem to justify this path at all. Is there a painless, is there a better alternative
for us? No.
There's really no, we have to face this.
We have to face this for some. This is how economic works. It goes off what we call sine wave, similar to everything else. So there are booms, busts, booms, busts. There are times when the economy is doing pretty well, prices are fluctuating less, and there are times when the economy is going to do bad and prices are going to fluctuate a lot. What we want to do, we want to capitalize on our advantages when things are good and make sure that when things are bad, it has minimal impact on the people that are most vulnerable. Now, what does this mean? This means that the government has to adjust how they administer policy to make sure that they kind of even out how income is distributed, even out how the burden is faced. And you see, with the imposition of taxes comes also how do you cushion the poor from the impact of economic detriment.
And the government has been doing that through its social protection programs.
As well as they have increased the minimum wage to some extent, and they have also increased the tax threshold.
Yes, or the tax threshold.
The tax threshold, which is very important. So the point is, we have to reduce our debt. We have to increase our GDP, and we have to increase our overall development aspects. We have to increase how we move forward as a people. And how do we move forward as a people? I'm fed up of taxes.
Yes.
When we check how much tax I pay versus how much tax one of my brethren pay in another country, they are laughing at me because they think it's ridiculous. You know, there's this, what we call the laugher curve, where we look at how government revenue changes when they change the tax rate. And my indications based on what we're on the right side, which is if the government increase taxes, then revenue will fall. And when I was looking at it, I'm saying, Jesus, we can't have no more increase in taxes. But at the same time, when we check it out, it's better to try to find some marginal way to collect these taxes where it has no impact or small impact rather than to borrow. And that has been the
still preferable. So still even though our taxation is so high, further taxation is still preferable to borrowing. I mean, borrowing is such a no-no.
Yeah, borrowing is a no-no, and we cannot cut capital expenditure. That is important because we have already cut capital expenditure by 4 billion. We can't cut it no further because we need the platform. When the Panama Canal expand, we need a highway from Mobile and bring people in an hour, 2 hours. We need a highway from Clarendon and bring people to Kingston within an hour and less 30 minutes. We need these things. It doesn't make sense. We are working towards something and we are putting the important aspects of it on a back burner to focus on important things. We have to put all the pieces together because we are looking at the future of the country, the future of the people, and everybody have to make the sacrifice.
And we can't cut social services further either.
No,
strained.
No, we can't cut social services either.
So as undesirable as the taxation is.
We have to, because these taxes, they can be reverted. It's just for us to get back on the right platform, get to the right growth trajectory where the government revenue can increase per capita, government revenue can increase as a result of business activity. Because whenever business activity increase, you have more services, you have more goods being produced. It means that aggregate demand will increase. And when demand increase, supply will increase further. And the country as a whole will increase in overall economic activity, which means that the government will collect more so that certain rates will automatically fall in the future. So that is how it works. So it's as if you're looking at it as, because what we've been accustomed to as a people is that GCT start at 8%.
True, and then moves
and
up.
It jumped to 10%. Then it jumped to 16. Then it jumped to 16.5, 17.
But that's precisely because we haven't been growing.
Exactly. So we are not accustomed to a situation where we're seeing tax rates reverted. We're not accustomed to a situation where we're seeing inflation reverted. We're not accustomed to a situation where we're seeing stable economy for a consistent long period of time.
Critical point.
So this is where people now are agitated because certain things they are not familiar with realistically.
Expectations are largely negative. Andre Horton explaining economics in very simple, easy to understand terms. He has more for us when we come back from our break.
High levels of debt eliminate a capital budget, which is essential for growth.
And that is why the government is trying to reduce the debt so that more money is available to do things like fixing roads, improving hospitals, developing the education system, and providing other amenities needed for social upliftment. The government's economic reform program is reaping results. The debt is going down.
What is good about the program is that the debt to GDP that stood at 149.4% has declined to 139.2% at the end of 2013-2014.
That means for every dollar of goods we produce, we used to owe $1.49, and now it's $1.39. The goal is to have a debt to GDP ratio of between 95 and 100% by 2020 and 60% by 2025 to 2026.
Dr. Andre Horton of the University of the West Indies Department of Economics, making economics simple to us on issues and answers. But people are concerned about the devaluation, you know, dollar losing its value, and consequently prices going up. I mean, what do you have to say about that?
Our exchange rate has been depreciating, and these are, when you look at it, nominal movements. These figures, prices, inflation, exchange rate, they are as a result of macroeconomic conditions, what is happening in the local economy. If the economy is stable and we are producing enough, meaning we are producing enough for export, it means that Jamaica is competing in the global marketplace, so that we are earning foreign currency because of our trade. If we are using imported inputs to make our products, it means that the prices of our products are not going to be as competitive as we want them to be. The exchange rate is falling because we lack competitiveness. We lack the ability to earn foreign revenue from a goods and services point of view.
Say the government should do something. The government should just sit back and allow the rate to go.
There's been a lot of debate as to whether or not a fixed exchange rate is better than a floating exchange rate. But when you look at the role of the central bank, which is the Bank of Jamaica, they have three main variables at their disposal. They have interest rate, they want to focus on prices, and also exchange rate. Now, modern economic theory, modern central bank theory wants a central bank to focus on what we call inflation targeting, which is trying to control prices, how prices change from one year to the next. With this, you neglect the exchange rate, you know? And when you're looking at it, fundamentally speaking, it doesn't make any sense for you to fix your exchange rate. And it is being fluctuated in the background. But you fix it up front.
You're going to create a black market. You're going to create shortages.
Yeah, you're going to create problems. Either way you take it, it is better for you to let the supply and demand determine the true value of the exchange rate, similar to any other product. In that way,
even though it affects prices negatively.
Yeah, it's going to affect prices, but as a matter of fact, Jamaica, we do not have the volume of reserves to really practice these sterilization policies which are necessary to keep the exchange rate fixed.
True.
And what I mean is this: if the country, if to keep the exchange rate fixed, it means that you need a supply of foreign currency to meet any given demand at any given time at a particular price, which we do not have. That is why we went to the IMF in the first place, because we needed foreign exchange support. Good. Now, what we need to focus on, instead of looking at whether or not exchange rate is fluctuating, how fast it is fluctuating or whatever, is to see whether or not how we can create a foreign currency inflow so that we don't need to go back to the IMF in the next 2 years. Because this is what has been happening since the 70s. The IMF has been a part of our economy. The IMF has been a part of all of our lives. Since the 70s, we've been going to the IMF for what? Foreign exchange support. So the important thing is not to focus on how fast the dollar has been depreciating, but look at what we can do to earn foreign currency, what we can do to make our exports look more appealing to people abroad.
Develop import substitution industries.
Exactly.
How can we look to our own?
It's a remarkable thing, because Grace has been able to do some things that some other companies have not been able to, and I see them as a benchmark.
Red Stripe.
You know? Yeah, Red Stripe as well. So it's for us to use domestic inputs in our production processes so that it maintains value. It maintains value. If we use imported inputs, then it will not maintain any value because we'll have already paid too much for the inputs. And at the same time, the markup that we're making is not going to be as much as we want it to be. So we can't really focus on the currency at this time. There are a lot of countries who are far richer than Jamaica and their currency value far less. You know? There are a lot of countries who are far more along the development path than we are, and their currencies value a lot less. You know, I don't want the currency to depreciate because I travel. Normally when I used to pay a couple of years ago, I can remember back in, I don't know, 2001, I can buy a 1,000 US for like 40,000 Jamaican. Now 1,000 US value 110,000 and odd. You know, so everybody is facing the problem. So we need a collective effort towards mobilizing the people for production, pushing the people to increase labor productivity, because the issue of social capital, this has been our problem. They have a saying that one Chinaman work a day and work 2 days. One Jamaican work a day, value half a day. So our inefficiency is straight across the board. Our inefficiency is within the government, ministries, departments, and agencies. Our inefficiency, when you look at the doing business index, we fail on a couple of key indices. So our inefficiency is just that we need to stop looking at the figures themselves and look at our actions and how our collective actions have an impact on these figures on the computer.
That's an important point on which to close. Our personal and collective responsibility for economic growth. That's what we have to focus on. We have been trying to do our part with economics education, economic literacy here on Issues and Answers. Join us next week when we'll be back. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
We need love and protection. I feel your mission.
What sound does a long A make? Disagreements and arguments are common features of human interaction. That's why it isn't uncommon to find that conflicts pop up from time to time when parenting a child. But as with the old saying, when elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. Children are impacted when their parents have disputes. However, there are things you can do to limit the impact of conflict on our children.
The first duty, I think, is that the parent should try not to harm the child as collateral damage. Because I think in a lot of situations, the parent doesn't intend to harm the child, but is either so emotionally engaged in the issue at hand or is so unaware that they may say or do things that are not suitable for the children to be involved in. We have had situations where a parent may have gone to school and made a comment about a child, like you're the worst picnic the Lord ever make. But then the child now gets teased by every other child in their class. They get disrespected by the people there. So I think a lot of times when we're expressing, we're not thinking about the effects. So I think awareness is the first thing I would say to parents. Second thing I'm saying to parents, the world is not really judging you every day for you to pass or fail a test in parenting. Most people empathize with the fact that parenting is a complicated job for which most of us are not equipped. So be gentle on yourself, and by being gentle on yourself, then maybe you would find more space to be more accommodating of the children. It's important to practice what we preach, because we will lose the respect and confidence of our children, because they come to us respectful, you know, and they come to us having confidence in us. But we can lose that by the way we handle situations as well as the way we handle them. So in Child Month, I think it's a commitment to, you know, create loving families, handle stresses by going to professionals to assist, take issues that the children are not involved in into a space where they don't have to hear and see all of the conduct that's really not appropriate for them.
So parents, try your best to maintain an atmosphere of love and compassion within the home. Even if there are problems, resolve them peacefully. Do not take out your frustration on the children. And whatever the situation, let them know that mommy and daddy will have differences, but both of you will always be there to support them. Remember, children's care and protection, a FIWI mission.
What sound does a long A make? A, A, A. What sound does a long A make? A, A, A.
Mother, 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 mother. Mother, 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 mother.
We are here with our Child Month co-producer, Mr. Matthew Hamilton, and he's preparing a meal for mom. Let me just bother you a bit, Matthew. What exactly are you preparing?
I'm preparing a pancake and Milo milkshake for mom.
It sounds good. Why is it important to prepare a meal for mommy?
Well, mommy always get up and prepare a meal for me, so I think it's time for me to prepare a meal for her.
That's good, Matthew. Good job. All right, so let me leave it to do your thing, and a little later we'll be speaking with the Nestle culinary expert, Miss Shelly-Ann Costello, and she'll be telling us about the nutritional value of Matthew's meal. Later.
Voila!
Miss Costello, Matthew prepared a tropical pancake meal with Milo milkshake. Thank you so much, Matthew. It's a simple and nutritious meal, right?
Yes,
Why?
it is.
Why?
It is so. We use our Nestle full cream cow's milk, and you know, with milk you get your calcium and your protein. Now with the fruits from the pancake you get vitamins and minerals, so it makes it nutritious and healthy. Also, it's very quick and easy to prepare. You know, parents and kids will have the opportunity to prepare these meals because they're so easy to make, and especially they're rushing out in the morning for work. So for breakfast, these are the healthier and quicker and easier choice to make.
Why is it important to eat right?
It is important for everybody to eat right. It kickstarts your day for one when you have a healthy, nutritious breakfast, and eating right gives you a fuller lifestyle rather than not eating healthy. Thank you, Matthew. It looks delicious.
Exactly. You know, Matthew, well, it's Mother's Day and we have a surprise for you. Guess who's here? You can't guess though, not even a little. All right, your mother is here. Come in, Mommy. Yay. Oh, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Oh. You can have a seat, and I'm sure Matthew has something in store for you. All right, so while Matthew serves his mom her meal, we'll hear from Christian on some foods children love to eat.
Mommy, me love you, there's nothing I'd put above you. No house, nor no girl, nor no car. Stand firm in my life, nothing no from a barn, me and you are poor.
That's nice.
Me and my daddy, first lady in my life, a girl of me understand. Special dedication to the big woman. From your love, your mama made me see your hand.
Hi, I'm Christy and I love to eat. Sometimes I like junk food, sweets, sodas, and if you let me, I may eat those all the time. But that's why you're the adult and I'm the child. So parents or guardians, lead your children. Show them you care by making sure they eat right. Here are a few ideas. Whole grain bread or rolls, they can be tasty. Use less butter in everything. Don't forget the fruits and vegetables. And mix it up so we don't get bored. And those sodas we love, give us healthier options like water or fresh fruit smoothies. Remember, like you, we eat first with our eyes, so keep it colorful. And don't get daunted by the tantrums. Nurture us now so we can be healthy adults later.
A mother's like the salt in a pancake. She adds flavor. Without her, life would be tasteless. Mothers, you're needed.
Matthew, how was it as a co-producer on Jamaica Magazine?
It was fun and exciting.
All right, so do you think you'd actually pursue a career in television production?
I know I can pursue more than that.
A chef thing too, maybe. Jamaica, we need to continue to encourage our children. And to find out how you can do that and more, click on our website, jis.gov.jm.
What are your views on JIS TV Child Month features?
Email us at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or send us a tweet at JIS News. From all of us here at the Jamaica Information Service, have a wonderful day and happy Mother's Day, Mom.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.